Well, hello, my Yankee friends. This is Cindy Lynn with My Yankee Fingers. Thank you so much for joining me today on my YouTube channel and blog. If you're new here, welcome. Today, I have got foiling on your cards. Now, I've been wanting to try this for quite some time, so I've been picking up little bits and bobs and things here and there, and I even upgraded my laminator, and I'm going to show you later why laminators matter, but I kind of learned a couple things while I was doing this, so I wanted to pass it along to you guys. So because I've been wanting to foil, I thought this is the perfect time. Now, I got a little creative and I went to my local print shop, if you will, and I took a PDF of a rectangle and I asked them to print it on a toner copier so that I didn't have to pay to buy a toner machine, right? A machine that prints with toner. So it's super, super easy to do. I will link the rectangle I use, but you can use any rectangle. So I'm just going to use some dies and cut out of that cardstock. Now, I got a pretty good quality cardstock. I felt them, and it's about an 80-pound, comparable to the current Stampin' Up! White. So here, all you want to do is, whatever your foil is that you're using, just kind of cut it to the shape of the dies that you're going to use. Now, I'm putting 2 dies in because I'm going to mix and match my colors. And if you stick around to the end of the video, I've got a special color combination that I did on my trials. I'm going to show you. Now here, I thought that using glue dots and putting them on there when I put the actual dies in the parchment paper, which is folded in half, it's basically my carrier sheet. I thought this was a good idea. Well, it was a good idea. It just doesn't work. The glue dots do not stick to transfer paper. Or sorry, the parchment paper. And I actually didn't even try this until right here live on the screen, and didn't realize until right here when I went to stick it in my machine that, oh, those aren't staying where they're supposed to. So don't waste your time and use glue dots to try to stick those there. You just got to be precise, and I wasn't always precise, and you're going to see what happens when you're not precise. So I've got someone messaging me that someone's at the door. Now I'm doing my video, but nevertheless, so I'm going to run that through my Royal Sovereign laminator, and I find that it works really good until down here. See that where I froze that? The bigger the die, the more crinkles that happen, wrinkles, whatever, in your actual parchment paper. So I just stuck another piece over there and ran it through again, but I find the smaller the die, the less likely that is to happen. This is the largest die that I worked with, so I found that the smaller dies, that doesn't really happen, right? So I had a couple different variations of foil. So I wanted to go with the silvery holographic here and the blue. So I'm going to cut this again just to the size that I need, and then put that tape that took me forever to get that off of there, put that away. So here, I'm just going to put it into my carrier sheet, which is again just regular parchment paper, and put that foil over top, and then I'm going to run that through my laminator. And again, I am going to show you in a little bit why, I don't know, different laminators, like different strokes for different folks, but some don't work. Now here, I froze this to show you. See those crinkles, wrinkles in my paper? That's where it doesn't want to adhere. Those wrinkles, it's not getting a good impression inside of the laminator. So if you can think of a way to run these through without using a carrier sheet, I find that the Royal Sovereign, I'm going to show you later, I can run it through without a carrier sheet. I was kind of worried that it might jam in there, or, you know, get kind of like all stuck in there, but it didn't. So I'm going to show you later how I did that, and that kind of fixed that problem. So none of these systems that I did today are completely without fault, but I didn't want to spend $100, $200 on a Mink machine, right? So I'm going to ask for one for Mother's Day, and if I get one, I'll tell you if it's worth it, because I saw one for about $170 Canadian. So we'll see if the dogs can conjure up enough allowance and afford to buy Mama a Mink machine for Mother's Day. We'll see. So here, I'm going to do some embossing. Now, with the other combination I did, the gold embossing powder here was perfect. So in my mind, I just pulled out my gold again, and I'm just going to town. And right before I started heat setting it, I went, oh, I used silver. So there, I redid it. Paper has 2 sides, so on the back there's gold, but that's okay. So I've got my silver, and I find that this is going to match with both card sets that I'm going to do. So I'm going to do two, right? I'm going to do a silver and blue and then the pink and silver. So I'm going to put all that to the side and I'm going to pull out my pink. And here is where I'm going to show you. So I have a Scotch brand laminator. I got it at the dollar store. I got it at Walmart, almost the same thing, right? I got it at Walmart and I love this little Scotch machine, but the very first time I tried this, that's what happened. It didn't transfer. So it didn't matter which setting I put it on. It didn't matter how I ran this through. Now, I tried running this through many different ways and this Scotch jammed so many times to the point where Todd had to take it apart with a screwdriver. So I highly suggest not running it through like this. On the Royal Sovereign, I had no problem running it through just like that. So I was pretty pleased, but down at the bottom corner here, it was all folded inside my carrier sheet, so I'm just going to snip that off. And then my circle die slipped in behind my big die, so I didn't get any transfer there. I have that left over, so I'm just going to run it through again. So key point here is if you're going to run more than one die through at a time, make sure they always stay in position, because whatever is not behind that foil is not getting foiled, right? So here I want to run this through again on its own because there's crinkles all over this from the carrier sheet. So I'm going to trim it right up, just reduce the likelihood that it's going to jam in there, because see there, I've got some, it didn't transfer because of the wrinkles. So I'm going to put that in. Now, I tried ironing this. No, it didn't work. I tried putting it in my heat press. We have an industrial heat press. Didn't work either. It actually melted everything really bad. I tried it at 250, 270, 300, 350. At the 350, it melted. But at all the other heat settings, it wouldn't transfer. So here, I used my Aleene's Tacky Spray and sprayed that, of course, because that's what I do. But I sprayed it before I trimmed it. So I was like, Cindy Lynn, I will trim the next ones and show you. I'm going to show you the trim on each, because this die is actually a little large for an A2 card. So just trim it up. And the extra little leaf, I mean, you've got it. Why not just stick it up there in the corner? I just feel like it closes everything in and draws the eye towards that piece there that we're going to put our sentiment on. So I was really, really happy with the way these were turning out. And I like how I flipped the colors around. I mean, the color combinations are endless depending on how much foil you guys have, right? So there again is where I trimmed them. And then I just cleaned up that leaf that I trimmed off a little bit there. And the pink one, as you can see, it's a little short because I had to cut the corner off because I didn't have my foil in there, right? But you know what? No big deal. Nobody's going to know, right? These are so pretty. I wish you could see these in person, because the holographic effect and whatnot on them, the video just doesn't do it justice. They're so, so cute. So on the blue and silver there, I adhered everything flat down. I'm going to show you another color combo here in a second. But these ones, I used dimensionals to pop up just the ring the sentiment sits on. And they're green and gold. I mean, you got to let me know which one your favorite color is. I think I'm leaning towards the pink. But thank you again for joining me today. And until I see you guys again, take care and happy stamping.